Hey, how's it going? It's your Challenger Coach, Moriarty here to bring you another video where we go over some unpopular strategies or picks that were able to climb to Challenger with ease and teach you how to play it. This time around, we're going to talk about Soraka, but specifically Soraka Top Lane. What's that? Soraka Top? But Adam, why introduce something that annoying to the meta? Did you ever stop to wonder if you should release this video instead of if you could? Aren't top laners suffering enough right now? Short answer, no, I don't really think so, so let's get right into it. To start off, let's talk a little bit about the Soraka top lane pick, where it came from, and why it's so good. So the first case I could actually find a Soraka top lane in recent metas was from an NA player called Inverted Composer, famous for his League of Math website, which is actually pretty awesome to browse through. But outside of him, over the last 2 weeks or so over in China and specifically Korea, not only in solo queue, but pros have been playing Soraka in bottom lane, mid lane, or more prominently in the top lane.
This is the moment. He's hovering it.
He's not gonna do it. Oh, come on.
What the pick does is, like all ranged top laners, it can bully lane or at minimum go even, negating the enemy top laner's ability to enjoy the game, snowball, and impact the game, making it a very consistent choice in top lane. Not only that, but due to the lack of impact top lane can have on the early game, Soraka's ultimate can be used to swing bot side skirmishes without actually having to leave lane and lose farm like a Shen would. With the increased income Soraka top lane gets, she comes into the mid game fights extremely tanky and impactful with absurd healing, negating the heavy mid dive meta that is present at the moment, as they simply just can't outdamage her healing. Another bonus is, due to the accelerated income she gets, she can actually just give up farm during the mid to late game and still be impactful when she has her core items, while giving a higher gold share to actual carries. And of course, the most important of all is that it's super annoying, super frustrating, and super easy to execute, which makes top laners even more pissed off at the pick. Let's move over to going over her stats. In Plat Plus and Diamond Plus, she has an average of a 56% win rate with a 0.7% play rate. Though her play rate is small, the important part is who exactly are those 0.7%? Well, you might have heard some of their names before. They include Deft, Bang, Ghost, Sven, Scarin, Ruler, Showmaker, Impact, Someday, Mickey X, Korean Viper, NA Viper, the god of top lane himself, the Shy, and even Wonder from G2 played it in LEC recently, Justino, of course, to name a few people. With this many top tier pro players frantically practicing this pick over the last 2 weeks in 4 different roles, it should be a given that you too should probably pick this up if you want some wins. Now that we've gone over Soraka Top's numbers, let's go into how to play her by going over her GPI and what metrics you should focus on. This time around, we are going to compare a Soraka Top picker's GPI to the embodiment of all top laners, the super top himself, Huzzygames. The key points you should take from this as a future Soraka Top abuser are, obviously your kills will be super low compared to how high your assists will be compared to a normal top laner's GPI. You'll also likely get higher KDAs as you'll be playing more passively and have inflated KP due to your ultimate. All your damage or kill stats are going to suck, alright? Your CS during the laning phase, because you just spam Q, and your range will be pretty good, but post laning phase it will be trash. And you'll also note that the Soraka player averages 4 deaths a game versus around 8 from the super top. It's pretty self-explanatory. She is a passive pick post laning phase. And compared to most top laners who max out their dueling metric as their primary statistic, you will want to focus on higher teamfighting and skirmishing scores, specifically teamfighting as the most important one. Next up, let's go over her item build. Starting items are Dorn's Ring 2 health potions, and for her core items, you'll want to rush Athena's Unholy Grail into Redemption and then an Ardent Censer. After that, for situational items that you will build before or after Ardent, you can go Shirilla's Reverie, Spirit Visage as your most common follow-ups, as well as Mikhail's Crucible for more utility, and lastly, you can consider Warmog's or Zonya's Hourglass, and if you're really feeling yourself that game, Medjai's or Death Cap. If it were up to me though, I would go Medjai's every single game because it's my favorite item, but I'm definitely a little bit biased on that as a mid laner. As for her boot options, the most common ones are Lucidity boots, though you can go Tabis or Mercs when needed, and you should prioritize them somewhat early on into your build because tier 2 boots are going to help you run away as that's all you're really good for. For her runes, it's nothing you really wouldn't expect. You're gonna go Airy Primary with Mana Flow Band, Transcendence, and then either Scorch or Gathering Storm based on how hard you think you can bully that poor unfortunate soul being forced to lane versus you. Secondary wise, you're gonna want to take Resolve for Bone Plating and Revitalize to help you survive all-ins better. Also, remember to take Barrier over Teleport. It will help you survive dives, bait people easier, and let's be real, what is a Soraka Teleport gonna do anyways? And before we move on to the next section, I'm gonna quickly go over her skill order, which is Q, W, then E, to give yourself just that maximum amount of annoyance factor during the mid-game fights, because with all those extra items, it's kind of like you're playing a priest in WoW, and every single thing you're doing is critting. For her power spikes, Soraka top lane's got some weird ones and is more of a mid-game scaling pick with linear power spikes, but let's go over them together anyways. In terms of levels, her level 1 is extremely strong. You aren't really gonna kill someone like Olaf, for example, but you will outtrade almost anyone in lane with your ranged auto attacks combined with the low CD and healing from your Q. After that, there's nothing too impactful until you get your ultimate at level 6, which will pretty much be a get out of jail free card for your jungler or bot lane, but they'll probably never thank you for it. Despite that, you still should be looking to use it to sway bot side skirmishes over keeping it to save yourself whenever possible. Next up, at level 9, once your Q is maxed, you'll actually gain some really strong lane pressure and poke ability, so remember to play a little bit more forward at this point in time. In terms of item power spikes, her strongest is at 2 items. Once she has Athenes and Redemption, this combination of heal item makes her truly obnoxious during early fights and is one of the strongest points in her gameplay, so she's just able to use these items in combination with her ultimate to pretty much solo win dragon fights, so make sure to force them the second you hit 2 items. This is of course if bot lane hasn't lost too hard, which, you know, since you're Soraka top, it would be embarrassing if they lost anyways. After that, Soraka does scale well moving into the later stages of the mid game and late game, but it's a consistent power curve with no individual items making her significantly stronger. Yep, this is a Soraka top combo section. Don't laugh, cause to be honest, I thought about cutting this part out, but decided to keep it as there are some small basics people should be aware of. I would be impressed if anyone wasn't able to execute these, so let's get started. First up, we have QE auto attack, which is your bread and butter train combination. For best results, use your E slightly ahead of where they're gonna run, as the slow is oftentimes big enough for the root portion to land, give you some extra time to auto attack. It can also be used to set up some ganks. We also have her QW combo, which is pretty much just a reminder to maximize your healing by hitting your Q first, and then it will transfer the hot to your target once you W them. Possibly the most useful combo is the burst healing combo, which is QR into W. To max out your potential healing on someone who is being bursted down, land your Q first, and then R once they're below 40% for a crit heal. And our last combo is going to be the I'm helping combo, which is flash E into Q. This is used when your teammates actually land some CC on a gank, or when you're setting up a pick and you want to guarantee that your E will root so that you can secure the kill. There's also a bonus to doing this. It is likely the most flashy thing you can do on Soraka top, even though of course it's not actually that hard, but it will give you a higher % chance of getting honors in the post game because they'll actually believe you're actively playing the game, unlike other Soraka players. In this section, I'm gonna lay out how to play the laning phase with Soraka top lane step by step, so get ready for some fun. Step 1, bully the enemy laner with Q and auto attacks at level 1, as you're probably stronger than them. Step number 2, continue to play for poke at level 2 and use your standard train combo to continue to assert dominance. Step number 3, focus on wave control from levels 3 to 5. You kind of need a slow push to protect yourself or at least freeze in front of your tower. Remember to continue to poke and deny them CS. Your goal is to make them as useless as you are because you're Soraka, and even without items, you're gonna be more useful than them. Step number 4, once you hit level 6, focus heavily on map awareness to use your ultimate properly to save your junglers or your bot laners. Step number 6, once you're at 2 items, you're an extremely powerful dragon fighter, so walk your unicorn self down to dragon when it's a good position to fight, as you can start to sacrifice a little bit CS to fight over objectives. Step number 7 is just a fair warning. The enemy jungler will look to gank you, and your jungler, despite having actually some pretty good gank assist, will choose to ignore you, so good luck. Next up, let's go over step by step how to teamfight on Soraka top lane. In terms of mindset, you are really similar to something like a Karma top or a Sona top, or even wait, better yet, you're just similar or even identical to a regular Soraka support. You'll be in the backline, you're going to be healing some people, trying to survive, and you're going to put all your focus on proper positioning because there's probably nothing else you'll have to use it on anyways. Step number 1, you want to front to back in team fights, and so you want to position in a way that makes it difficult for you to be flanked. Step number 2, mark out the important enemy champions to silence and when you would want to use it on them, as well as which teammates are worth you ulting to save. And keep in mind, sometimes the only person worth ulting is yourself. Step number 3, once the fight starts, just hit Q on literally anyone wherever it's up and start healing your frontline early to keep them topped off. Step number 4, do not randomly use your E. You're going to want to save it for important moments like when the enemy divers are coming in, or to layer onto CC when your enemy team lands it on a carry by using the I'm helping combo. Step number 5, use your burst healing combo to save an important carry, or use your R if multiple members go below 40%. Number 6, and this is an important one, do not feel the need to actually auto attack. I'm not kidding. So many enchanter players just spam autos during teamfights to pretend like they're doing stuff, but in reality, it's better to focus on your positioning and fight awareness rather than just throwing out a banana once in a while. Like in most of my guide videos, I'm going to do a TLDR section to make it easier for people to review and or, you know, if you're just lazy. Top lane Soraka's strengths are, she requires low resources, she is a consistent pick, she is super annoying, she's strong in team fights, she scales well, and of course she's super easy. She's got a 56% win rate with extremely high pro player presence in high level solo queue across all regions, especially in Korea, and it's even been played in LEC by G2. For stats to focus on when picking her up, you're going to want to go for a high assist, good KDA, low deaths, low gold share, and high teamfight GPI. Core items are Athene's Unholy Grail, Redemption, and Ardent Censer. For runes, you're going to want to go Airy, Resolve Secondary, and take Barrier over Teleport, please. Skill order is QWE. For power spikes, level 1 and level 2 for poke heavy stuff, level 6 to ult and save your bot side, level 9 for max poke potential. In terms of items, you're going to want to go 2 item spike and then group with your team for dragons, and then continue to scale but in a linear fashion. In terms of combos, you got QE auto attack to trade or set up ganks, land Q and then W for healing, land Q then R when they're below 40%, then W for max burst healing, and of course flash EQ to help set up picks or ganks. In lane, you're going to want to abuse your early level 1 and level 2 poke, and then at 3, 4, 5, focus on wave control to keep yourself safe. Then at level 6, use your ultimate to save bot side, then continue to stalemate the lane until you get 2 items, then force a dragon fight, and remember, you will get ganked and probably your jungler won't be around. In team fights, stay in the backline and focus on positioning so that you don't get flanked or dove. The longer you're going to stay alive, the more annoying that you're going to be. Identify who you want to use your ultimate on and who you want to deny with your E. Spam Q and don't waste your E. That's it for our video highlighting a sleeper pick for climbing. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any suggestions for a champion or player to be featured on the next one, let me know in the comment section below, or if you have any comments on how to make the video series better. As always, I'm Adam Moriarty, and be sure to check out Mobalytics.gg to see your own stats or check out our other videos on this channel, and hopefully I'll see you out on the Rift.